The 2018 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships are brought to you by AE Engine, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Bubba Burger, Cliff Kids, Dick's Sporting Goods, Expand a Brand, Fusionetics, Major League Soccer, Nestle's Nesquik, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sun-Made Raisins, Target, Turbo Sports Group, United Soccer Coaches, Wilson Trophy Company, and Yokohama.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the McGuire Cup.
Winning the McGuire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period, that's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied McGuire Cup?
Forget last year. It's gone. Ancient history. It's time to forget about failure and how you came up short, how you missed the mark. Yeah, it's time to forget about the man you should have marked, the run you should have made. Remember that shot you should have taken? Time to let it all go. Forget about it. It's time to go to work. It's time.
Gary. And a very good morning here from Frisco, Texas for the 2018 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Saturday morning as we head into the knockout rounds here at the Toyota Soccer Complex for a under-18 girls semifinal matchup between the Sunrise Sting and CDA Premier girls side out of Ohio South. Your CDA Premier will be in your all-white kits going from right to left on your video screen, whether you're watching mobile or through the television. We thank you for joining us here on the U.S. Youth Soccer YouTube page. Sunrise Sting will be in the black, going from left to right as well. A beautiful morning here in Frisco, Texas, in what should be some very, very good games. As your CDA Premier team coming in with a record of 2-0-1, entering after the group stage matches. Lots of very good talent here on both sides of the pitch here for the first semifinal matchup. As we head into the early morning stages, match days, it's ideal for weather conditions, the 7 and 9 a.m. kickoff times, as the weather seems to be a little bit more doable for the players, and then certainly I think that's the concept behind USU Soccer and their decision-making for when they want to make sure that the temperatures aren't too high during these important matchups in the semifinal. Early on, it would take a few minutes here to kind of get things going for both teams. The early morning game at 7 a.m. is certainly a tough one to kind of get the bodies moving, and certainly they probably have good wake-up calls for their preparation. We'll try to keep you updated on a majority of the games going around the complex today. It's now been brought down to just the 5 fields here at the Toyota Soccer Complex. Cup gold winners for CDA Premier last year, national champions. A star-studded group here, as that one's cracked forward from the Sunrise Sting, Kayla Fernandez. That one is going to go way over. You'll see CDA Premier here with a one of their defenders that typically takes their goal kicks. She's also their free kick taker, Sophia Dennison, the St. Louis commit. Here's an early chance. A good shielded play there from the central defender, Amber Tem. Good communication between her and her goalkeeper. And that one will go out for a throw-in on that far side for CDA Premier. Goal kick coming up now for Sunrise Sting. Out of Florida. Far side. And there's a pull down. It will go the other way. Long goal kick coming up for Sunrise. This one will go out of bounds for the Sting. Just a tad bit of rain coming down here, sprinkling just a little bit. There's a rain cloud right above us. There has been some clouds coming through the area here in the early stages of the morning. And I saw some lightning coming in earlier, very early this morning, ahead of arriving to the complex here at Toyota Soccer Complex. Beautiful complex here, the Toyota Soccer Center, home of FC Dallas and their youth academy. as well as several big national tournaments, and it's the home of USU Soccer as well. Same complex. Their headquarters are right here on the opposite side of the parking lot. Big ball that tried to go towards frame and just kind of mishit it. Alyssa Vasquez, the midfielder for Sunrise Sting. And here's the goal kick coming in. Good header there from Vasquez. Here's CDA on the counter. A good through ball. A little too much on the weight of the pass, and that will easily be collected by the goalkeeper. Again, early stages here as both teams continue to try to feel out each other a little bit. Good ball played towards the corner flag. Can they keep it in bounds, and it just trickles out of bounds for a throw-in for CDA. Here's Dennison to throw it in for CDA. Good clearance there. Becky Dean, one of the top prospects here from the CDA side, on her way to Butler. Rain just starting to trickle a little bit here. Throw in for CDA. Good shape here early on from CDA. Lone striker for Sunrise Sting. Avanthia. Playing as kind of a hold-up player. Right on the edge of Megan Aduye. Big center back going to Missouri next season. Good job there from the keeper. First timer clears it out. Not enough though. Winner will advance to the national championship, which will be played tomorrow morning. I think all the teams are pretty stoked about the fact that there's not too many afternoon matches now. No matches really will start after about 10:30 now for the rest of the week, including today and tomorrow. National championship finals will go from start times around 7 to 7:30, all the way leading up incrementally, then from all the way till about 10:15 tomorrow. They try to stage it accordingly for the award ceremony so that each of them are being timed appropriately, and that's also based on the time of thinking about different things. Here's a chance, cleared out though from the center, big center back from CDA. Still in play on the near side. It gets double teamed. And a good interception from the Sting. Ball played over the top. Nobody there except for most of the CDA defenders. Just a little bit of pressure here from Avanthia. Trying to make it tough for CDA to play out of the back, but if they can continue to play 1-2 touch football right here in the back third of their defense, they're going to easily get through the Sting press in the front three. Here's a chance, and this one's easily picked up for the CDA goalkeeper. Good distribution here out of the back. Now the left back, Dennison. Good ball played all the way forward. Can Kuiper get to it? Kuiper can, and it's pushed out of bounds. And almost a throw. It looks like it's going to be a throw in. Yep, throw in for CDA. Throw in for CDA. Be a goal kick, though, for the Sting here early on. Good flick back there from the Sting forward. That one's played out and unable to get to it was Turner early on here. Good challenge there on the far side. Getting double teamed, getting pushed from the back, and it will be a free kick for CDA. Good challenge though. Physicality certainly a big part of this game at this age bracket in the under 17s and under 18s. And most of these girls obviously all committed to play at the Division I and Division II levels. Here's a good ball flicked on, and it's easily picked up though. Good opportunity, almost got free. Was the CDA player. Good punt here out. Teams look a little tired here early on, but they'll certainly get going as the match moves along. Adriana Brewer, the starting goalkeeper for CDA, and that one will go out of bounds. CDA seems to have a little bit more going for them here early on. And it'll be another corner kick for the Ohio South side. Out of the Midwest region. That's a great coaching staff for CDA, including the head coach, Tiffany Roberts. This ball sent in on the in-swinger. A good chance, flicked on, and that one will get cleared, though, from the Sting. Still with it, though. There's another left-footed service. Near post. Ooh, and just misses as it trickled through on a second bounce. And the CDA is punching at the front door, trying to get the early lead here in the first half. With it, though. Dangerous ball on the second attempt. That one bounced a couple times. But the Sting forward could not, or excuse me, the CDA forward could not put it away. Here's a through ball. Can they get to it in time? The goalkeeper comes out, and it's in. Oh, just missed. Well, I think everybody, including the team bench, on the CDA side thought it was in. A great opportunity for CDA once again as they're knocking on the door on the Sting. Sting looking a little flat, but the goalkeeper comes up massive for Florida. We'll take a look at this chance again. Just tried to slip one right by her. Couldn't get to it though. Couldn't really get it past the outstretched goalkeeper for the Elite, but two really good opportunities here early on for CDA Premier. A 1-2, that one will go out of bounds for a throw in for Sunrise. Now let's see how the Sting can counter now. Can they get their team up here a little bit? Can press that space and start to put a little bit of pressure on the Ohio side. Ball in the air, good challenge. Two girls going up for it. The ball still stayed in bounds off the spin. Dennison now with it. Can she keep possession? Good turn. Spun with it. She had time. Good ball played through. And a good chance for both sides to track that one down as Matos was able to cleanly get it as the right back. Was starting to get a little bit of pressure. Ball played in. Really nobody there, but she's able to go home for it. Emily Clark. Ball sailed over the top, and you can certainly tell that Coach Ferreira for the Sunrise Sting has pretty much given the green light for his side to take opportunities from distance if they have the chance. And I think any coach, especially at this level, the talent level, the ability to spray balls and put a decent ball in frame, they're going to give them the opportunity. If they've got a clear opportunity, put one on frame, especially on the girls' side. We see the ability to put one on frame, typically because the girls' side is just not as tall, sometimes harder to reach the upper 90s of the goal. And so if they can challenge them in those pockets of the goal frame, it's usually a good opportunity and a chance to put one in the back of the net. Challenge the goalkeepers, that's what coaches always say, regardless of the boys or the girls' side. Here's another chance. This one goes to trickle wide. Another valiant effort, Liliana Fernandez. Dennison will take the free kick, or excuse me, the goal kick for CDA now. Early stages of this first half. Getting ready to enter the 19th minute, now into the 20th. 45-minute halves here at this age group. We're almost halfway, and it will be interesting to see as the CDA side tries to put one in the middle. I think it was a little early. She probably could have taken one or two extra touches there. Dennison tries to get it forward to her left winger. Not there in time, though. Was Rhodes. This now ball played. Sting now trying to use their outside backs to get into the attack a little bit. They certainly do allow that left back to get into the game a little bit more. Still with possession. Here's Fernandez. Fernandez is going to take another look. That one's deflected off the CDA player. And now what can they do? With some space here. Here's Kuiper. Kuiper plays it in the middle of the park. Right back to her. Kuiper again. Kuiper plays it out wide, and it's just a little too much. As Rhodes was all the way here on the left touch line, had an opportunity to, with a little bit of space, but the ball was just weighted a little bit too much. Some cloud cover making it a beautiful morning here in Frisco, Texas for the under-18 girls semifinal. The Southern champions versus the Midwest champions here in the semifinal. Ball played in the middle of the park, and it's going to be deflected out for the third corner now for CDA in the match. She'll take her time here as the players continue to warm up here on the near touch line. About halfway through the first half. Be interesting to see if today they'll do the mandatory water breaks halfway through each half. That ball played to the near post has to be punched out for another corner kick for CDA. Again, take the same corner kick as Sting do put two players, one on each post. Another chance to the near post. Goalkeeper with two attempts at her, still bobbled out, and it will be another corner kick. So a third one in a row. That one, though, in swung into the near post and hits the field sign up on the top portion of the goal post, and that one will go out of bounds. Third time was not a charm in this case, and it would be a goal kick for Sunrise. So many matches and so many goals are decided upon in the set piece category. That ball played in, and that one will trickle out. Thrown in. Good turn back. Can they keep possession? Good tackle there. Good 50-50. Get the ball played as it stayed in. Dennison plays it right back to the Sunrise side. There'll be a foul called. And the center official, he took a second to call that. He wanted to see how the advantage played out. Looks like the Sting goalkeeper will come all the way almost up to the halfway line to take this. Looks like they're gonna put one into the mixer here as CDA draws their offsides line right about the 18-yard line. Good spot for them to kind of put that. This ball served in, doesn't have enough juice on it though. Bounces first. CDA though, able to punch it out. Becky Dean with the first one to it. They keep possession. And now what they want to see here, get their wide players involved. Dennison tries to get wider. She does. She receives it with tons of space. Can she exploit this in the 1v2? Ball played into space. Good turn. Still has it. As Rhodes tried to play her on-rushing winger who was making a dynamic run on the diagonal run, but just wasn't there in time. Good layoff there for Sting's center forward. Sting keeps it. Now the captain tries to play it in front. Lorino captaining this Sunrise side in the middle of the park. AR looking for it in an earlier call. The AR2 on the near side was just absolutely screaming at his center official, trying to get his attention on the earlier offsides call. She came from an offside position, and it was just a delayed call as he couldn't get a hold of her quick enough. Good tackle there. Scoreless here in the under-18 semifinal, entering the 26th minute of play. We're almost halfway. And if the trend has held itself up, you will see a water stoppage for a water break here in the next couple of minutes if they decide to do one. Pleasant morning here in Frisco, as temperatures have been reaching in the low 100s. And from what we were told is that this actually was one of the cooler few days here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is hard to believe. Apparently some of the hottest temperatures or span of hottest temperatures in the last 10 years, with a record-breaking consecutive days in a row with 100-plus temperatures. Sunrise now with their first corner kick of the morning, excuse me. We've been up for quite a few hours, so it feels like the afternoon already. Far side for the corner kick. Sunrise decides to put just one. That one looked like it'd be a good flick on, but good defense from CDA there. Couldn't tell if CDA was putting two girls on the post or just one. That definitely had one at the back post, but I couldn't tell if they had one at the near post. Here's a ball played in. Pretty easy for CDA's goalkeeper, though. Brewer, the Toledo commit. This one will be high in the air. Good clearance from the Sunrise center back. Ball kept in. Good job from the winger. They keep possession. The Sting start to try to put some things together here now. Vasquez, one of those options here on the right wing side for the Sting. We are now entering the new generation of players, age bracket-wise, as there might be a couple under 19 players still that are born in the 20th century. But in the next couple months, you'll see pretty much everybody at the youth level will be born in 2000 or later now, which is hard to believe. Time passes by pretty quickly, and certainly us who are a little bit older makes us feel a little bit older after you hear those dates. Sunrise now. Here's a challenge from the back. Rhodes taken down, no call. Good run there from Morgan White. She couldn't track it down, though. Good turn, good challenge there from Dean. Dean, a bulldog right there in the middle of the park, but Sting able to keep possession. They counter quickly. What can they do with this? They try to play into space and just kind of miss-hit. Was that through ball from Fernandez. Good tight defense here from CDA, not giving the space for the Sting to really do much. Sting certainly right now are not using the flanks as much as they probably could, going super direct right through the middle of the park. We'll have our first two substitutions for the match, one from each side. First one entering. Will be Kaylee Voigt, the Cleveland State grad, coming in for Kate Larbus. And then the second player for the Sunrise Sting, Aviantha, the center forward, going to take a seat as Samantha Wald enters the match for Sunrise and replace her at the number 9 position. About halfway through, giving her the chance to start the match. Had a couple good opportunities, held up play decent when she was able to get the ball at her feet, but the CDA back line, especially the 2 center backs, have really made it difficult on her early on. So they'll switch things up, get a new 9 in, maybe a different type of player. We'll take a look at her and see how she does play and see if she can change the course of the game here early on in the first half. Nice diagonal ball through on the ground. Tries to turn her. She does. Beats 2 defenders. Good space into the box and nothing there. What a great run from Sydney Turner, though. Beat her player. Took her to the byline, but just couldn't find a player rushing the box to put one away. Definitely the best chance for the Sting here early on in the match. Just not enough runners, though, from the Florida side in the box to connect with Turner's ball. Good move here from the midfielder Fernandez. Another long attempt from Kayla Fernandez. And they certainly do not hesitate to take one from distance. And I think that's probably asking a little too much from that distance. She was close to 40 yards out on the attempt. But once in a while they can connect and magic happens. Ball flicked on. The Sting keep possession. Looked to go wide, deflected off the CDA player. Now out on the far side to the left back. They certainly look to occupy the left back a little bit more in the attack than they do the right back going forward. Giveaway from the Sting, who were able to still keep possession, though. For a second there, Waiters was put under an enormous amount of pressure, gave the ball away, but was able to get it back. Fernandez now out wide. Dennison takes it, though. What can she do? She needs some numbers. Good defense there, though, from the Sting. Some other scores across the fields, in case you do care. Boys and girls, field 4 in the under 14 semifinal. Real Jersey over ECFC 1-0 right now. Baltimore Celtics under 18 boys 1-0 right now. Ball played in the middle of the park and can't connect on it. Didn't have too much of an angle, was able to get just the right foot on it. Was Wald. The Sting have seen some success on the right side here with a combination of Fernandez and now Wald in the middle of the field. Thanks for joining us here on the USU Soccer Network. Whether you're watching on your state association's page or on the YouTube channel of USU Soccer, you can follow everything for USU Soccer on their championships page, championships.ususoccer.org. Live coverage throughout this national championships. 80 something matches are live and in HD across the whole network. 87, I think it is, to be exact, matches across 5 full days of action. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were the group stage and the match play games. 60 matches in those days that were covered here on fields 4 through 8, and then all the knockout matches from age 13s to 19s are being played from this morning, and then tonight will be the under 13s and under 19 national championships on field 4 and across the other 3 other fields. And then tomorrow we'll have 8 national championships from 14s through 18s on both the boys and the girls side. Now with some space, CDA. That ball's cleared. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair today. We're entering the 38th minute of play. We do have another substitution on the CDA side coming into the match here with about 8 minutes left in the first half. Actually, we'll have one for each side. Try to get a little spark here off the bench with just a couple minutes to play and remaining. Cindy Turner will exit the game for the Sting, and entering will be Megan Morgan. On the other side, for CDA, will be Taylor Dickerson, the OU, or in other words, Ohio University commit. This ball played into the park. Can the Sting left winger get to it? She can. 2 defenders, plays in the middle of the box. Here comes the goalkeeper, though. And he's easily able to pick it up was Brewer. No real threat to Brewer so far today. Had 1 corner kick, had 1 other opportunity. Really nothing that she could do about it. We're going to have another substitution entering. They have been warming up several players to the CDA side here. Allison Robertson, the Ashland commit, is going to be coming in next for the Ohio side. Here's a ball played in the middle of the park from 12 out. Great defender movement there as they were able to get to it in time. Right before she was able to let one rip, the Sting player was able to get her foot in front of it for the block. Split second earlier, and CDA could have been up 1-0. The ball trickles out of bounds on the punt. CDA will have the throw in after the substitution. And as we said earlier, Robertson's coming in. She'll come in for Meyer. Meyer will take a seat, the NKU commit. CDA now with it, and there was an offsides flag up on that far side as the AR has his flag waving. The 9 a.m. game here. Coming up after this one will be SJEB Rush O2 Academy out of New Jersey taking on Legends FC out of California South, a legendary team. Especially, very well known is that Legends side always seems to be in the national hunt for a title. But both teams certainly up for the challenge as Rush come in as the National League Red champions and Legends FCO2s coming in with the National League White Championship title under their name. And that is a under 16 semifinal. That will be coming up next here at 9 a.m. Central Time. Appreciate you joining us here on live coverage of the 2018 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Just under 5 minutes to play here. First half from field number 8 in Frisco, Texas. Just a suburb of Dallas in the north suburbs, outlining Plano and the Colony and Legacy, several areas right around here. It's a massive area if you've never been to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We trickle down into the late stages of the first half. Still 0-0 between these two sides. Here's a perfectly weighted ball over the top of the left back. And a good chance here. Really the first attempt from Samantha Wald. Connected well, just too far right of the post. That will be a goal kick for CDA. Another substitution for Sunrise now. Lots of them being made. Matos was out, and now entering is number 22, Alexis Silveira. Goal kick. Dennison takes it for CDA. Takes a couple bounds. Looked like the handball there, as it just kind of hit Waiter's hand. No call, though, as the kind of ball went to hand and not hit ball. That one's cleared out. Good recovery run defensively. She gets us ovation from the crowd. Maya Gordon makes a really good run there defensively to keep a one-on-one happening from CDA, though. Something that will go unnoticed, but certainly a really, really good challenge to interrupt the play. Megan Doye, I think her coach was wanting her to play back to her goalkeeper there, but she just kind of calmly knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in. I thought she had a little bit more time to be able to get back to her goalkeeper there, but regardless, I think she made the decision that she felt was most comfortable and least dangerous in that situation. Now, Sting with another corner kick opportunity. Here's a good chance for them here late in the first half. This ball well driven, right about knee level though. That one's just a really tough ball to play. If you're one in the box, that one's going to be a hard challenge from the CDA player. Have a small warning made over to her. There'll be a free kick now for Sunrise. Just about 1 minute to play here in the first half. We'll see if there's any stoppage time. I can't see there being much more, if any, at all. And the free kick now for Sting. Played in again. Good ball, first time. I can guarantee you if there's a little bit of sweat on the surface, it may have been a little bit more tricky for the goalkeeper. But that one was easily picked up from the CDA netminder, Adriana Brewer, but had a lot of pace behind it, just no on-rushing players. And that's a dangerous position for a free kick. Always interesting to see how the ball is played in from that position. If somebody can get to the ball first on the near post side, that's typically a great run to nick one into the first post. Dennison puts her own center back under a little bit of pressure, and she gets lucked out there with a free kick. Aduye asking Dennison, what the heck were you passing it to me right there for? Dennison takes it. This will be played in the middle. First bounce, no one to it. Second challenge, Sunrise takes it. Now back to CDA. That one's flicked on to the goalkeeper for Sunrise. The fourth official putting up stoppage time, and I figured it wouldn't be too much. Just 1 minute added. A real stoppage in play here, too much here in the first half. Just a couple substitutions, but that certainly wouldn't delay too much of that time. So 1 minute. Can't expect it to go too much into any time after 45. This ball played in Denison. A little bit tricky there. Has to take the second touch. Here's a chance. Can the Sting put it on frame? That one's just a little bit wide for Waiters. Waiters didn't really have a chance to fully get it down on the pitch. Kind of takes it on the half volley. The ball was kind of spinning away from her. Didn't really connect on it too clean, and that kind of sprayed out to the right of the post, and that will be the end of the first half as the whistle blows. Both teams coming off. Sunrise taking a nice jog off, and we'll follow it by the CDA side coming off, the Midwest champs coming in with a 2-0-1 record. That'll be your first half. 0-0 the score here on Field 8 for the under-18 girls semifinal. We'll be back with more coverage for the second half right after this.
The 2018 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships are brought to you by AE Engine, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Bubba Burger, Cliff Kids, Dick's Sporting Goods, Expand a Brand, Fusionetics, Major League Soccer, Nestle's Nesquik, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sun-Made Raisins, Target, Turbo Sports Group, United Soccer Coaches, Wilson Trophy Company, and Yokohama.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jimmy McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career, to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the McGuire Cup.
Winning the McGuire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period. That's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied McGuire Cup?
Forget last year. It's gone. Ancient history. It's time to forget about failure and how you came up short, how you missed the mark. Yeah, it's time to forget about the man you should have marked, the run you should have made. Remember that shot you should have taken? Time to let it all go. Forget about it. It's time to go to work.
Back to action here on field 8. As we'll switch sides here, Sunrise Sting going from right to left in your all-black kit, and CDA Premier going from left to right in your all-white kits as the home side this morning in the early stages of the second half. In the first match of the day, the 7 a.m. kickoff slot, the under-18 girls national championship semifinal. Live from Frisco, Texas, hashtag Road to TX. As the number 1 side in Florida takes on the CDA Premier. They are the Region 3 ranked number 1 team. They are 4-time Florida State Cup champions. So all these girls for the Florida side and the Sunrise have won State Cup championships 2014 through 2018. They'll go from left to right here. Megan Morgan on the left wing, trying to put one into the boxes, deflected though from Dennison. Diaz Silveira with the first time. Oh, good save there. Another chance, flicked on over the head of the Sting player, and that one to be deflected out for a corner kick. There's an early chance as the Sting knock on the door early on. Good save from Adriana Brewer. As the ball was played kind of over her, so she started to go towards the back post, and the ball's redirected towards the near post and had to make a diving save. Here's the in-swinger for the Sting. This one's a good ball in. Brewer punches it out. Is it enough? It is. Not all the way out. Still in the 18, and a ball played in straight to Brewer's hands for the easy one. Sting side. Majority of girls at the 2019 level, even a couple 2020s. And then you have a couple older players who are 2018s, including Samantha Wald, who's going to Brown. Chance here from CDA, a good turn. Can she keep possession? That one gets taken out of bounds. A little bit of pressure here from CDA. Setters tries to keep it. Good shielded play from the Sting. Setters still trying to give her a little bit of pressure. Nice little turn. Still in play. Stayed on the line. Ball played in right into the feet. No, here's a 3-on-3. Oh, that one was close. Nicole and Nucci was just played in offsides. Like to see that one again. That one will trickle out. Throw in here on the near side for the Sting. Lots of Ivy League attendees and commits for the Florida side, including girls going to American and Cornell and Brown and Columbia, all fantastic schools. Yale, if I didn't mention that one. And then a couple other trickled in there in the Florida area. University of Central Florida, where Marlee Frey will play her college soccer. All the way out of her box is Adriana Brewer on the first time. A good heading ball there. Great challenge from Waiters. Big presence. Waiters in the back line for Sunrise. Gives a good presence in the air for the Sting. Good through ball. Can you get there in time? Again, offsides. A second one in a row now for Nicoletta. The AR here on the near side, all over it though. They've both been pretty close calls, but just a step off. Here's a chance. again, remember, we will head into extra time if it's all square after 90 minutes of play. Across the complex, or excuse me, across the field here on field 7, as we attend to a couple head injuries on our field. They will take a second here. Usually when a player or two players go immediately to holding their heads, it's almost an immediate stoppage of play typically. That's a concussion protocol situation where the officials have certainly been trained on the do's and don'ts of how they should continue play or make a girl go out to go through that protocol. And certainly at this time, waiters will have to come out. The 2019 player, she'll come out, a little holding her head as she walks out. She'll have to be attended to by the trainer before she's allowed back in. So the Sting will play with a girl down here for a few seconds. Good quick play there from Silveira. Diaz Silveira has a little bit of pace, can certainly use that to her advantage on this left flank. Good 50-50 challenge. Play continues, the referee lets him play. I think it's a good call. Ball played in over Silveira. Now cuts inside with her left foot, and it trickles out. I don't know exactly what she was trying to do there, as Taylor Dickerson didn't have too much. I think her coach was wanting her to beat her player down the line and try to get in and try to get a good service in the back post, playing it across the box. Sting will make a substitution, and certainly I think this may be just a re-entry policy situation where she'll be replacing Sydney Waiters for a second as she gets attended to by the training staff to go through a quick concussion protocol. It looks like actually girls on both sides are getting that done, one for CDA and one for Sunrise, as they made a hard challenge a minute ago. CDA with a chance and just flat out tripped on a blade of grass. One of the best defenders for Sunrise today. Had a chance to really make a move right inside of the corner of the 18 and just face planted with the ball at her feet. Unfortunate for her, as I think she could have been on to something. Here's a good ball played in. That's a tricky one there, as the midfielder Vasquez tried to play one in and catch Brewer off her line just a little bit. Here's the goal kick from Brewer, or punt, excuse me. A lot of time right in the middle of the field for both teams. Not a ton of pressure being applied from either side. So the central midfielders on both sides definitely have a little bit of time and space to turn with it or to make a decision with the ball at their feet. Looks like both players have passed the concussion protocol, so they'll re-enter. Their substitutions will be made. Ball struck right at the goalkeeper. Had a chance, just needed to challenge Brewer just a little bit. Right at the middle of the field. Good turn there from Sophia Dennison. Or excuse me, that was Kaylin Setters, the Moorhead State grad. Or excuse me, commit. Probably not graduated yet. We'll have 2 substitutions being made for CDA. Get some fresh legs on the pitch. And Coach Tiffany Roberts looks like she'll be making a couple extra changes as she's passing out all of her player cards currently. A lot of goals being scored across the field right now, except at our field. 0-0 still between Sunrise Sting and CDA Premier in this under-18 girls semifinal matchup. Winner will head to the national championship final. That will be played tomorrow morning here in Frisco. Sunday morning finals day. Ball played just a little bit too far away from Larbes. Now with some space, Dean had been applied a little bit of pressure, had to turn back and play back to her center back. The ball is nicked out of bounds though. Megan Morgan. A lot of celebration happening behind us in the boys semifinal behind us. Big time goal scored. Lots of sound if you can hear it. Good tight possession right here by the Sting, but taken out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for CDA. Good job there. Morgan White's pressure applied, and they were able to keep the ball. That's a foul on Alexis. On Dean, so it'll be a free kick here for CDA Premier. Waiters has returned to the game for Sunrise. Back in the center back position. Definitely wanted to get her size back in the field after she was tested for the concussion, but everything was cleared. Here's the ball sent in, not a great ball, and so she'll have to keep possession here. The ball popped in, a little bit of space. Ooh, made it a little tricky. The ball was played, and then the wind picked it up a little bit, and then some backspin. And before you know it, there was 2 CDA players with nobody on them, and just the goalkeeper that had the chance to get to it. This one played back, and it will be out of bounds, deflected off of the CDA center back. It will go out for a throw-in, go out for a corner kick in favor of Sunrise. Momentum has shifted just a little bit, as Sunrise have certainly picked up the pace of the game a little bit as where they were in the first half. The opposite of CDA really put the Florida-based side under a little bit more pressure than Florida was. Had 3 or 4 early corner kicks in the first half to Sunrise's 2 that were towards the end of the first half, and that momentum is certainly carried over for the Florida side. Ball played near post, looking for a flick on, and that one's deflected out defensively by CDA. CDA now trying to play the transition. This one played in, and it's in the back of the net. The floater right over top of Brewer, and Sunrise goes up 1-0. And just as we spoke in the first half, sometimes from that distance, if you get the right weighted ball, it can be in the back of the net. Sunrise takes the second half lead in the 50th minute. Goal scored by number 9, Chloe Loriano. If I'm pronouncing that right. Got the pronunciations from the coaching staff, but hopefully we're getting them right, but I apologize if I haven't. But a great weighted ball. Just enough, floated right over the outstretched Brewer from CDA to give him the early second half lead, 1-0 in favor of Sunrise. Now let's see how the teams bounce back. Will Sunrise be able to put the 2-0 lead and start to punch their ticket to the semifinal, or is it going to wake CDA up a little bit and get them back in this game for the equalizer? We're going to have several substitutions being made for the Ohio side now. We'll try to get all the substitutions for you. Entering first will be Jordan Rhodes, as well as Lindsay Meyer and Eva Kuiper, all who have played minutes in the first half. CDA looking for the corner, and they do. A good shielded play from Morgan White. And here's a chance for them to equalize. Let's see what CDA can do. If they can certainly apply some pressure, Dennison will take it. Oh, no, it won't be. Usually it is. Not this time. The left-footed in-swinger will come in right about the penalty area. Not a lot on it, as it's about chest level. That's always a tough ball to play. The ball stays in play. Here's Kuiper. Kuiper plays it to Morgan. Can Morgan Turner? Can't. Good defense play from the Sunrise Sting. Morgan White, one player to beat. She does, down the byline, serves it into the 6 with a chance, still in there, inside the 6, cleared out for the second attempt. Still with play. Can Morgan get wide? Nope. With another chance, deflected, will go out for a corner. No, as the goalkeeper is able to corral it. There's a really, really good chance from CDA and loads of pressure from Morgan White here on the near side. She's been given fits to Alexis Diaz Silveira here in the second half for the first 10 minutes or so. Morgan White again with some space. Recovery run from the Sting defender. What's she going to do? She does play it. Good ball. And it'll be offsides. Just barely. Again, CDA with a chance. Cuts it back right at the top of the D. This one's punched out. Service ball with the left foot. Nicked out there from Maya Gordon. Morgan White from the far side flicks it on. Ooh, what a absolute clutch clearance there from the Sunrise player as that one goes out of bounds. CDA still continues to keep play. Beats 2 defenders. Played back into the box. And that one will be played out of bounds. Couldn't get what she needed on it. Jordan Rhodes, Eva Kuiper, Morgan White have all been knocking on the door for CDA here in the second half. It seemed to spark a little bit of life into them after being scored on. And it's been a couple tough minutes on Sunrise here defensively. But continue to hold on to the 1-0 lead. CDA starting to get a lot of players forward. Here's Alexis for Sunrise. Played it into the feet of CDA's defender, though. Larbes still with it. Cruyster player. Not enough, though, as Kayla Fernandez is right there to tackle her. Lindsay Meyer, or excuse me, flip side of the score sheet. Stephanie Kuan coming in for Megan Morgan for Sunrise. Ball played in over the top a little too much. Ooh, almost slotted it through. Good tackle from both teams, good challenges. All clean though. And now CDA on the counter. Jordan Rhodes plays it over the top to White. Can White get to it? Goalkeeper comes out. Looked to be a little bit of a handball. Really good ball from Jordan Rhodes though. White's going to give the back line of Sting a little bit of trouble here. I can guarantee you that as the match goes along. Her pace and her ability on the ball. So they've implemented 3 up top for CDA right now, trying to get the equalizer now. That one be deflected out. Be a corner kick now for Sunrise Sting. The goal scorer, Lariano. The Yale commit. I think she's going to have some tough academics ahead of her future. All the best to her and her family. She'll take the corner kick from the far side. The 2018 Southern Regional Champion, Southern Sting, with the 1-0 lead here in the second half. Ball played back out. Chloe with it. Beats her defender with a nice move. Plays it back post. Flicked out on the header. Still with it. Sting fires it over the post. Good chance for Kayla Fernandez. Maybe had a chance to take just an extra small touch to bring the ball down a little bit more to settle it, but she had to kind of take it on the half volley and smash it as quickly as possible before the on-running defender came to her. Again, another ball. This looked very similar to the earlier goal. That one just sailed just right over the crossbar. Good chance there. Can Morgan White get to it? It's back towards the 18, a little bit away from Morgan White was that ball. Now Sting with some numbers. Ball played out wide. Vasquez with it. Plays it all the way into the corner. Stephanie Kuan. Be another corner kick for Sunrise. A substitution will be made as well for them. Ava Sparatus will enter back in for the Sting. And will replace Samantha Wald. So Samantha with some good minutes here for the Florida side. Came in late in the first half, about midway through. Played the first portion of the second half, and now they go back to the original starter of Spiratus. Flick on, and it's in the back of the net. Through the hands of Brewer. And a great weighted ball from the corner flag. The outstretched arms of Brewer couldn't hold on to it, and it goes into the back post, into the back of the net, on the side netting to give Sunrise the 2-0 lead. And they have doubled their score in the 72nd minute. Under 20 to play now. Still lots of time, though, for CDA. CDA was knocking on the door early, immediately after that first goal that the Sting scored. Now we'll see what they can do now. What can the front three do of CDA? That ball easily played in, though, to the captain of the Sting side. Elizabeth will be attending Columbia University. The American Heritage High School graduate, or soon-to-be graduate, will be entering her senior year. Ball played out on the far side, all the way into the corner. They'll let that one run out of bounds. There'll be a goal kick now for CDA. Under 20 minutes to play here in the 7 a.m. matchup. We have a final on Field 4, which was 3-0 to Real Jersey, beating ECFC Salinas United. That's the under 14 boys semifinal. We'll have a throw in here for CDA. Looked to be somewhat of a foul there, but no call made as the coaching staff for CDA Premier gives a little bit of an earful to the near side AR, Tiffany Roberts. Referee asked for it to come back a little bit. The ball was still moving a little bit, I believe, or we'll see exactly what's happening. The player was in front of the ball for Sunrise Sting. Cheeky professional move, trying to delay the quick restart. Here's a long ball played in for CDA. Can they get to it? Yeah, good deflection on the face of them, but offsides. Ava Kuiper came from an offsides position. Two early 7 a.m. matches are completed on the underage or the younger age groups. They play 35-minute halves, so certainly after the 70-minute mark, they're pretty much completed. So two teams have certainly punched their tickets to the national championship for tomorrow. Two semifinal matches for each age bracket on each gender will be this morning in the 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. time slots. A little bit of pinball play here between both sides. Lots of play available here on this side. Throw in for the Sting. They'll make another substitution. They'll do all they can to drain some of this time off the clock here in the remaining 14, 15 minutes of play. Exiting for Sunrise is Kayla Fernandez. They'll try to get her some rest. trying to squeeze out as many minutes as they can if they had to play back-to-back days. 4 games in 5 days if you make the national championship is tough, especially in the Texas heat. Coming in for her was number 20, Maya Matos, the Stetson commit. Now the ball out wide here. Morgan White punched out from Amber Tam. And a throw in for CDA. Can they get one back? As we always say in the game of soccer, 2-0 or a 2-goal deficit is always the most dangerous. You see sometimes defense slacks down. Here's a foul. Nothing too dirty. Cassandra Lawson with the tackle there. As Becky Dean was trying to receive the ball and make the turn all at the same time and just kind of got her left foot clipped as she made the turn. This is a really, really dangerous opportunity for CDA. Under 15 to play. Can they get one back here? Dennison's going to take it for the Ohio side. 3 girls in the wall. Ball played in, not enough on it. As the first defender's there to head it out. They keep possession though. Onside, service ball in, punched out. Good job from the goalkeeper. They still have it, and there's a girl down right now. They don't want it to really go. CDA with it still, flicked over, punched in, and saved. Elizabeth Matsai. It's a tough situation there because they have a player down, but they have the chance in the box, and so the referee has to make a tough challenge there, or a tough decision, excuse me, on what to do. Stop the play. See what the call is. It will be a corner kick, I believe. As the ball was already out of bounds, the complete ball was outside of the line as the goalkeeper played it. It's going to take us a second here as Eva Kuiper had gone to this near side to play the corner, but the ball had gone out on the opposite side of the post. Service ball in on the corner. Offsides call made. The AR here on the near side has been pretty busy this morning in this early game, especially here in the second half. Several offsides calls. This ball served in. Right at the midfield line. Sting keep possession. They'll play it all the way out wide. A little bit of pressure. Swung in, Sting's player into the middle of the park. And nothing really too much on that one. Three matches still being played currently. Downtown Las Vegas versus West Coast in the under-18 boys semifinal. White here on the near side gets clipped up, and there should be a yellow card issued, and there is. Good movement there from Morgan White. And the first and late yellow card, really, in the game comes in the last 10 minutes of the second half into the match. Amber Tam will get issued the yellow card for Sunrise. We'll have a substitution made for CDA. It's not been their specialty here today so far, CDA. Not had a ton of great services. Sophia Dennison will take this one. That one, again, just not exactly what she was looking for. Sailed right over the bar. Her coach asked for her to drive it. You could hear him, assistant coach, asking him just to really punch it in there. She did, but it was just mishit a little bit, sailing right over the edge of the crossbar. Good ball played in on the goal kick. CDA still keeps possession. They're trying to find the .50-50 ball. That one's played out. Another substitution being made for Sunrise Sting. They're trying to not only get a few of their starters a little bit more rest, but I think it's a tactic as well, trying to delay a little bit more time. As Alyssa Vasquez, the American commit, goes out, Cindy Turner will come in the game for the Sting. CDA still with it. Morgan White trying to keep it in play. She does, deflect it out of bounds. A throw in for CDA. Trying to find the ball. The fields are pretty close together, so they had to trickle down into the opposite field to get the ball. Trying to a 1v1 situation. Nothing there. Does look like a handball, and it was just barely kind of nicked her. This is going to be a really, really dangerous opportunity for CDA. Can they get one back here? Late stages of the match, 83rd minute, with a free kick just 20 yards out. Again, Dennison will come up for the free kick. The free kick specialist, if you want to call her, Sophia, the SLU commit. It's a distance where you're right where you want to put one on frame, or just a little chip over the wall onto the on-rushing players. Almost wishing there's a left-footed player that could hit this on frame. Let's see what she does. Sophia with it right into the wall. Still with it, CDA in the box. Still with a chance. Is she onside? No, she's not. Wide open opportunity, but just offside. Jordan Rhodes found herself with an open bank, but it wasn't open yet. Called off sides. This one played back in from Sunrise, still with a 2-0 lead, entering the 85th minute. 5 minutes to play. CDA down 2-0. What can they do? That was probably one of the best chances they'll have here later on. Here's Rhodes again. Good first touch and a great tackle there from Sunrise's center back, Maya Gordon. Going to Louisiana State. I think there's 2 of those players that have. This ball flicked on. Goalkeeper goes down. She'll take her time getting back up. They'll draw it out as much as they can. This ball punted into the far corner of the other side. CDA trying to keep it in play. Another foul called on Morgan White. Morgan's been targeted all second half here. She's been pretty successful. Service ball in. Morgan White, can she keep it in play? She does, right into, oh, she can't. I thought she did. I think she may have kept the ball in play, but as she connected with it, it went into the side netting of the goal. Remaining couple minutes here, and then maybe 1 or 2 minutes of stoppage time. Again, not too much. A couple goals and 2 injuries, excuse me. That will be punched out of bounds for a CDA throw-in. If CDA does lose, they'll be their first loss here in Texas after a couple convincing wins in their first and third games in group stage. This ball played in. That's a great through ball. Can they get the third goal? They cannot. Goalkeeper, good job. That one is played in and finished. So the first attempt from Adriana Brewer was good, but just a tough one to get back up as she was unable to hold on to it. A good first through ball, though. And that's certainly got to be the nail in the coffin for Sunrise Sting as they take a 3-0 lead on CDA here in the final touches of the match. That was all Cindy Turner to finish the third goal for Sunrise. Morgan White trying to throw it in to Jordan. Good turn there. Still keeping possession. Doesn't have too much. She's got to beat her player one-on-one to really do much. She does. Beats a second one. Has a player on her back. What is she going to do? Megzer keeps it, and then she has to push down the player as she lost possession of it and couldn't hold on to it and knocks her down with kind of a little bit of her momentum. Sunrise will move on to the national championship, unless barring a miracle here, which is probably going to be pretty tough to do now at this point. 1-1-0 to start the campaign here in Frisco. Moved on to a draw and then won 3-1. So they escaped group stage with 7 points and then moved on here into the knockout rounds, the semifinal, with a 3-0 lead heading into the final 2 or 3 minutes of regulation. That one's punched out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick now for Brewer and her CDA side. Throw in for CDA. Just about 90 seconds left in regulation, and we'll wait for the fourth official to issue the stoppage time. We expect probably 1 to 2 minutes of that. Ball all the way in the corner. Sting trying to do whatever they can to delay some of that time. Ball still stayed in all the way into the corner. Sparatus just tries to hold on to it as long as she can as it's kicked out of bounds by, or kind of deflected off of her for the CDA throw in over there on the far side. Or excuse me, far end of the field here on the near side, all the way down by Main Street. The fourth official now has issued 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the under-18 girls semifinal for the under-18 division. Sunrise Sting will move on to the national final. And Ferreira and his side, will have the opportunity to really kind of have some fresh legs out there. He was able to make a couple substitutions middle of the way through the second half after really they scored their second goal. Maybe a little early to do that with just a 2-goal lead, but nonetheless they were able to get the third one, and that certainly solidified things for him. Morgan White still stayed on side. Now with it, Morgan White trying to figure out what to do with it. It goes into the corner. She's going to try to play it early, though, Let's see if Morgan can play something short maybe. They're going to take their time here, set it up properly. See if they can get anything here early. Left-footed ball played in. First to it, though, was the Sunrise player. That one will trickle out of bounds. The first round of the 7 a.m. games are pretty much over at this point. On Field 8, CDA Premier and Sunrise Sting just about to wrap up. And that's the final whistle as Sunrise Sting defeats CDA Premier 3-0 and move on to the national championship tomorrow. The Under-18 Girls Championship will be played at 7:30 on Field 8 here in Frisco. Championship Sunday. As teams shake their hands. And coming up next here on Field 8 will be an Under-16 girls semifinal from Rush out of New Jersey versus Legends FC out of Cal South. That'll be coming up here in the next 15-20 minutes. Thanks for joining us again. Sunrise Sting 3, CDA Premier 0. That's all for the 7 a.m. matchup. We'll be back with more coverage from the 2018 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships from Frisco, Texas.